You grab your bike off the porch and hop on. As you pedal down the street, you think about the things you could do with your new super strength. The possibilities run through your head as you head toward the hiking and biking paths. You are so engrossed in your thoughts that you don't see the old lady bent over on the path in front of you. You see her at the last moment, brake hard and swerve to avoid hitting her. You jerk your handlebars as you try to stabilize yourself and keep from crashing to the ground. You pause to catch your breath and then look over to the old lady to make sure she is okay. She is standing there frozen, looking at you, mouth open in shock. You realize it is Mrs. Birch who lives a few doors down. You rest your bike on its bike stand and walk towards Mrs. Birch. Mrs. Birch, are you okay? She blinks a few times as if coming out of a trance. Her eyes finally focus on you and she realizes who you are. I think so. What happened? Sorry, I was too busy thinking and wasn't paying attention to where I was going. Are you hurt? Mrs. Birch looks down at herself, as if examining to see if she is okay. I don't think so. But my heart is pounding right now. She puts her hand to her chest. You realize it must be from the scare. Let me help you to go sit down, you say as you take her by the arm and guide her to a bench. After a few minutes of sitting, Mrs. Birch appears to be better. What were you doing bent over there like that? You ask. Mrs. Birch looks back to where she had been standing. I was trying to crush that can, she explains. You look over and see a dented aluminum can lying on the ground. Why were you doing that? You ask, confused. I'm collecting them up so I can take them and get some money back for them. But that's not worth much, you say. Maybe just a nickel. Yes, but if I collect enough, that can become $1. I do it often enough then that becomes many dollars. Mrs. Birch becomes excited as she explains. You realize that while it may seem worthless to you, the little bit of money Mrs. Birch can make from collecting aluminum cans is important to her. You stand up and walk over to the can. You peer into the nearby garbage bin and see a bunch of cans inside. I think some people were having a picnic and they threw all their cans in there. What a find. Mrs. Birch says excitedly. Mrs. Birch, I feel bad about almost hitting you with my bike and scaring you. Let me help you out, you say. Well, that would be lovely. Thank you very much. You pick up the aluminum can off the ground and crush it easily in your hand with your super strength. Oh my, look at that. How strong you must be. You crumpled up that can like it was a piece of paper, Mrs. Birch exclaims. You smile and put the crushed metal into the plastic bag that Mrs. Birch is using to collect the cans. One by one, you take the cans out of the garbage bin and crush them easily into flat metal discs. You take the filled plastic bag back to the bench and hand it to Mrs. Birch. You have saved me a lot of time and hard work, she says. Thank you very much. You're very welcome. I'm going to go and get some money back for these. See you soon. Mrs. Birch wanders off happily. Well, that's one thing I can use my super strength for. You try to decide where to head off to now. If you choose to head back home, go to chapter 15. If you choose to head to the lake, go to chapter 12.